Hello and welcome to episode 243 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. That's a big number now, isn't it, Jake?
It is. It is a big number.
It's quite considerable given where we started. However, it's a bit sad today in a certain way. We have lost the Steel City derby. It's probably not as... I'm not as angry as I would be in the usual situation, but it's worth starting with the Yes, This Is That podcast.
Yep.
So... welcome. But we'll start the podcast as we always do, mate, with me asking, how's your week been?
Busy, things are breaking. My dishwasher broke this week. My wife flooded the kitchen. Not to do with the dishwasher. And it's just getting that time of year where I'm a little bit on edge, a bit touchy because it's Christmas, birthdays and all that stuff coming around the corner. I am not a Christmas person. I don't do Christmas at all, as James can tell you. I'm not the person to be making jokes around Christmas because I will.
I forgot we're coming into that season where you're like, git.
Yeah, I'm not great around this time. So it's just that I'm trying to be better, but it's difficult. It's difficult because you're trying to juggle so many plates. But apart from that, it's been good, mate. I'm just slowly plugging along, trying to get things going and just seeing what happens. I think the only positive right now is that Golden Balls ain't here, aka Mr. Elephant Man.
Yeah, well, we've obviously got a lot of football to talk about. It's been a while. I'm sorry to hear you've had a busy week, and it's not getting any better. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the Steel City derby today, but yeah, it's that time of year, Jake, where you do turn into an old crank. But
yeah, I do.
It was the other day as well when I messaged you something about, like, I'm pretty sure I know who this guy is who's trying to stay anonymous and something. And you just went, and you snapped at me for some reason. I was like, are you all right, mate? Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, it's time of year. I don't do well around this time of year.
I was worried you were going to snap at me. Then you were very quiet.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? What's happened here?
Yeah, I'm just time of year, mate. It's one of those ones where I come from a bad situation, home life, when it came around Christmas time with divorced parents, and it just trashed stuff that I tried to work out with therapy. Therapy didn't get anywhere, and now I've got two kids' birthday in December because I didn't plan.
Yeah.
I get better around March time. You notice.
You do. You do. But it's always, the annoying thing is, mate, this is a very busy time for the football period.
Yes.
So I have to deal with you a lot during this time.
Yes, you do.
So yeah, no, he's making it. I think the reason he's saying this is because last year he knows he was an absolute person.
Yeah.
So he's getting ahead of it this year.
Yes, I am.
But yeah, it's good that you're here, mate. I don't think I've seen your hair blue. Am I? That blue. It looks like a good dark blue.
This is the purple, which is now going a blue colour. It would to be.
But the dark blue's good. It's like Wednesday blue.
Yeah, it looks good. It's one of those. It's one of those colours that can fade really nicely. Even though I looked at this morning like, is that what I'm going to look like when I start going grey? Because it got like a.
I'm surprised you haven't started going grey yet. I'm waiting for it.
Hey, if it means cheaper dye, I don't have to buy bleach anymore. How's your week been, man? How did the move go?
It was busy. We moved on a day where it was chucking it down. It took about 4 van loads. Obviously, yes, you can see I'm in the new space. It still needs tweaking. I did my first stream from it today. I've still got a lot of boxes around, but I left sort of like my boxes with my stuff in, and Soph sort of organised a backdrop for me. I bought this unit, and Soph organised it while I was at work, so it was nice to come back. It looks like an IKEA special. Is it an IKEA special? It's not an IKEA special, actually. It's a bit of a better one. It's made out of metal and wood. And IKEA is usually a very one type of wood, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's all right. It might even be an Amazon special, to be honest. It's probably even cheaper than IKEA. But it wasn't that cheap, but it works. And it's very, very tall. It's got a load of nerdy stuff on it. And I like it. And I do realise that I have got my Dijon Bernard signed cutout thing here that's not in shot for the podcast, so I'll probably have to move that around because of the way I've put the.
You'll sort it.
Yeah. And I didn't buy that, by the way, because I know that was under the Dictators thing. Somebody got me it as a gift.
I remember when you said it, you made it very, very clear.
Yeah. Because I'd said that I wanted them. I said, but I'm not buying it. And my mate had picked up on that. And he bought one of them for me. I'd have been a bit annoyed if he'd have probably bought more.
Yeah.
Because I'd have been like, that's too, sort of thing.
Money to put into that man's pocket.
I do have one of them.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And now the problem is if the esports team start doing that more, I will probably buy them all.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure that's fine.
It's not like you've got a copium of shiny cardboard elsewhere in other departments and plastic figures.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That's not a box that's like worth £200 just sat there behind that tall neck.
But to be fair, I did actually see that in the picture you sent me. I was like, that's a very expensive. I only know this is a expensive job, expensive box with what you're jobbing now. I now see how much everything is. I'm like, Jesus Christ. One of the interesting things is, though,
this is nowhere near what you. Sorry.
One of the interesting things you've got, though, in the new year, if I can have the design logo from you, I will be able to 3D print you the Talking Wednesday logo because we got a 3D printer for me and Sarah for Christmas.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, my sister's in special effects and stuff, and she's in like prosthetics and things. So we were looking, she's gone off traveling now, but we were thinking before that we were going to, she was going to do some proper cinema grade stuff as well, which could have been cool, but she's sodded off around the world. So why not?
As long as she stays away from Thailand, she's fine.
I think she's actually dropping in there at some point just for a couple of days. But yeah, we've got there. Cat settled. Cat likes this house more. I like this house more.
Bigger
house works. It's not full of, it's like the electrics don't trip on me all the time. We've got extra space. We've got stuff for friends to come over. I've gone in straight away and like secured everything.
Yep.
Gave us proper security systems. I feel better here already, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. It's like, it's a new start, but it's going to take time to move through everything.
Yeah.
Like from the podcast now, I've just put another light up there and I'm like, right, that light does work a lot more. So I've just put another light on. You can't see it now, but you'll see it on the podcast. Yeah. I'm still tweaking the space doing that, but I want a dual setup. I'm going to mess about with OBS cameras and try and get a camera in that corner so I can not even have to move my camera. This stays permanently here. And then I go over there to play FIFA content.
I will say it is an absolute godsend. Like, I managed to build this out to have technically 3 different setups in it. And it's so easy. It makes life so much easier. So you can just go to one bit, turn it on, or record, go again. And it's just the moment you know you don't have to keep breaking things down or something. Like you can just go in, get it recorded, send it to your computer. If I'm new now, you've got stable internet. I'll get a NAS. You'll get a net with storage access, so you can just send all your files from it to your Mac anyway.
To be honest, mate, all the content's going to be in this room. I'll just wire it all.
Yeah.
But it's a case of I am probably going to buy another Elgato. But I might just buy the 4K cam link thing, the 4K stick thing.
Yeah.
And then I can just have that permanently in the machine for the Xbox.
Yeah, makes sense.
But we've got a Series S as well. Well, it's so I bought it for Christmas a few years back. But we were like, well, on the TV downstairs, we'll have my Series X and the PlayStation, stuff like that, and the gaming setup. But up here, well, why don't we just install your Series S? I'll just have FIFA on it. You've got all your games on it, but you also got your games on my Xbox. If I'm at work, you've got the big TV. But we've got another TV in here now was our prime main TV before January, if that makes sense. So that's the office TV now. So we've got 2 good setups. I remember
the message you sent about panicking about moving the actual TV.
I was so scared. Because we hired a van, right?
And now you tell me it was raining. Now I can even tell even more why you were scared.
Oh, don't like. It was so nerve wracking doing that, but we got it. We did it.
Yeah,
we did it. It moved. But yeah, it's a process. Process is still ongoing.
Trust the process, as they say.
And yeah, exactly. But talking about trusting the process, the whole Sheffield Wednesday thing's a process. And Jake, we do have to talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
Since we last spoke, a lot's happened, but in terms of the football, we have just watched the Steel City derby where it resulted in a 3-0 loss for Wednesday. So talk me through it, as we always do.
It should have been a little bit more, potentially. I think Sheffield United 3-0 is probably understatement of what the goal line was. The goals they got, the first two were from Wednesday mistakes. It was all our mistakes at the back. And we've had that a little bit this year where we are constantly making little mistakes and stuff. And I'm not saying we can't criticise the players. We can. But the thing is, with what's going on at the moment, that is our best squad. That is our best bench. If you're going into it going, I want more passion, I want more fight and stuff like that, I get that, and that's what we want. But the problem is, they're not going to be able to do that because they might get injured. And if they get injured, we haven't got another player to get. Then we have to go back to the FL. And they took the chances well. I think in goal was onside. I think Palmer was lucky not to give a penalty. Just Ingleson impressed me again. Ingleson looks really good.
Yeah.
The thing that
he's becoming a good player, I think.
The thing that Ingleson lacks, and I'm going to get slated for this because I've done it on one player in the past, pace. He's a little bit.
He's not a pace player, though.
No.
He doesn't need it.
No, he uses his strength.
What for me is more of, for me, I think he's lacking knowing when to take that shot.
Yeah, there were a couple of times where he squared it, didn't he? He squared it instead of just having a smash at it. But he gets in those really good positions that you can tell him and Barry have already got a conversation and a link up where he knows the ball's going to go. And the same a little bit with Harry. But all in all, even when it went to 2 in the second half, it's like, I wasn't expecting anything else. It was weird. It felt so odd. And yes, I want more passion, but I wasn't really expecting anything else except this result. I'm just shocked it wasn't more.
I don't think the game would have warranted more. I think actually 3 goals. I disagree slightly on the fact that it could have been more for United, because I actually think we played in certain spells like it wasn't necessarily. I thought 2-0 would have been fair, Jake, when I was watching it.
You're right in what you said in your stream as well. We need a striker, but finding one of them is going to be hard.
Because we're talking about Ingleson, there was that really, really heavy touch he had, and that was like where if you just touch that in the right way and just smash it, bring it down, smash it, it's in, because he was in a really good position. He'd done all the hard work.
Yeah.
But then he had a touch like a bloody pickup truck or whatever it is, and it went out. But yeah, I think so. Wilder seemed quite. I watched his post-match interview. Seemed quite respectful. Yeah. We'll see if that carries on tonight. See if he's on any tables. But I think you'd think he might have. He might have learnt from that. Maybe this second time round.
Also, it could be a little bit. It's very hard to do that gloaty thing when we're in the position we're in. They're not in much better position. It's hard to do that when they should kickstart their season. Let's be brutally honest.
I do think the players should be running back more, Jake. This is one thing I will say. We talk about our position. I think we should have had a bit more tracking back. You could have had a bit more urgency in things.
We're very open at the back.
There is an argument that the players aren't good enough, and I can see a lot of angry people on the internet right now. But I don't know what you were. Well, actually, no, I do. You probably expected more fight and seeing more urgency. But if you watch the Wednesday side, we're not seeing much difference from what we would expect to see out of this Wednesday side. They're giving it a good go, but we are very, very up against it. And
I think one of the
side should have been battering ours.
I don't like if when we go forward, we are very open at the back and there isn't like another line of players. And I just kind of hope, and it's really bad to having to pin your hopes on 2 players who are coming back for injury. That's something like a Cooper Bernard back line could help with that, especially with also Charles in net, because that could help. But it's like, how well is
I think
he gonna come
Horvath
back?
could have actually got to both goals as well, by the way. I might be being harsh there. The first two, sorry. I think he could have got to them.
I think the first one, he could have got to it, but I also think Max Lowe could have done a bit better on the line. Trying to run
And Valerie
back.
shouldn't have been pushed off the ball so easily.
No, it's a difficult game to talk about because I love a Steel City derby, but the last couple of ones we've had,
They haven't felt like derby.
they've not felt like derby because there've been other things happening off the field. We've always had it,
and
recently.
I miss it.
Yeah,
I miss it. I'm not because there'll be United fans watching this, as there always is, that are going, "Oh yeah, you would say that you've lost, etc." I miss it. I miss the feeling of the derby. I miss the anxiety in a weird way. I guess I don't as well, but I miss the anxiety of it. I miss the, oh God, this is going to be awful sort of thing. And this time I was like, well, I know this is going to be awful, but I've had a lot of awful things happen at the club, so I am not focused on the derby, and I want to be. When a Steel City derby comes around, Jake, I want that.
Yeah.
I want that emotion back. And I'm just praying for the end of the season now and this new ownership and going round, because what I am worried about is this, just this complacency with the feeling of detachment from the club and not having that raw emotion anymore.
I think that'll come back.
I don't want to have.
I think that'll come back.
I think it will, but I don't want to. And I'm determined to get that feeling back because I don't want that mantle of being able to take that.
Yeah.
If you get me,
Yeah.
But because we're still in the aftermath of it, I'm still sort of like in the hangover stage of that.
There's also a lot of unknowns that are going on with us still. It's still unknown who's going to have it. It's still unknown what we can and can't do in January in terms of the transfer window. It's still unknown on what we can and can't do in terms of what the embargoes and what's going to happen next. The problem is, once
it's just
we start
not annoying having a season that's a write-off 2 months in, Jake, because that's where I feel apathy.
Well, we're 18 points adrift. We're not beating the drop.
Exactly. So it's like absolute apathy about anything this season. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, there's nothing. Like, and I guess the focus is for me off the pitch, watching the stuff on the pitch. But when it comes to the actual matches, I'm like, I just want to see the lads give it a go. And that's where I could see the criticism from some people not tracking back, etc. today.
Yeah.
But in terms of the actual football, I couldn't give a crap. And that's not helpful for the players either.
No.
Because the players are going to need us. But we're in November, mate. We're nearly at December and we've got a write-off season.
And the thing is, we're going to have a write-off season anyway because we're due another point deduction at some point.
I know, exactly.
So
this is what I'm saying.
I think the thing is, whatever you're planning for next season. And the problem is, we got to go into games and just do that. If we win a game, we celebrate it like we've won a game because it's going to be a long time since we do it. Any other manager in the position that Henrik's in, if they had ownership, he'd be sacked by now. He wouldn't be here. He'd be gone because he hasn't won. I think he won once, maybe twice this year. I might be giving it lucky there, but he won. But then you look at what he got to deal with. There's nothing there to get you to go, well, he's had this. Well, he hasn't had this.
It's just completely up against it.
Yeah, it's such a apoplectic season where you can't actually do anything. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You're going to stay where you are.
Yeah.
It
sucks. That's why it's so weird feeling this. It's like, Jake, I know there'll be people going, oh, you're such an armchair, blah, 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 blah. The reason I didn't go today was because I moved house, but I'm not getting into that. I don't need to justify myself to anybody because there's too much of that on the internet. But I went down to make a toasty, right, after the game, and I was like, oh, well, I don't feel anything. We've just been beaten 3-0 by our biggest rivals, and I don't feel anything. Because it's more of a case of
annoyed that we lost.
Is it the summer yet, Jake?
Annoyed.
Have we got new owners yet?
I'm annoyed that we lost, and I'm annoyed with the way we lost, but I expected it, so I'm not too...
That's the thing. If I'd have expected it to be closer, right, say Chansiri leaves us, but we don't have a threadbare squad where on the bench it's just kids.
Yeah.
Right? Then I'm like, okay, no, we should still be making an account of ourselves here. And don't get me wrong, with the 11, we should, but I've said this in the stream. We've been figured out now.
Yeah. 100%.
There's only so much you can do with the same set of players in the systems. We can change the system again. We can try and play a different way, sort of thing. But you don't have much room for maneuver. If you identify the squad's weaknesses, we then can't really do much to like rotate those weeknesses because we don't have the players, we don't have the depth.
No.
So once you figured out, you figured out. And that's where I think I expected this to come from, which is why the numbness and the let's just focus on the off-the-pitch stuff and actually look to the positives in that is...
That's why that game, you could tell we were figured out because they kept on doubling up on Amat. Our outlet is Harry Amat on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
we don't
and
have
they
another...
swamped him.
Yeah, and we don't have another outlet. There isn't another one. We've got Barry Bannon who can do the odd miracle ball, and I'm not saying odd as in now and again, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know, and they were closing him down all the time, as you would.
Ingleson will run through brick walls and get to it. Up top,
I think that's one thing they didn't do well. They didn't contain Ingleson very well today, and that's where it's a case of like players like that start to come into their own. That's where we might see positives going into next season. I think Ingleson comes down with us, and he's not out of contract, is he?
I don't know if it was a 2 or 3. He may have an option. Not sure.
Well, I'd love to see Ingleson with us in League One because of his physicality and his power. Like, I think he would be a player for us next season.
I know, and I've seen a lot of people talk about Jamal Lowe not being the person, but I think from what I've heard, Jamal Lowe been crucial in that dressing room as another voice.
Yeah.
And I think
he's lost a bit of pace as well, though. I was watching some of his runs today, and I was like, we've just come back from an international break, and there's some stuff that I can see his brain's wanting to go for it, and he's running, and he's like not as fast as he would have been.
I mean, you put this down to a very much needed Sheffield United win. They needed it. They were always going to be
absolutely.
the best.
I could see the relief at 3-0. That's why they started getting really giddy at 3-0 because that's what they should have been doing.
Yeah. And I think for them, they'll hopefully see this to push them on. But for us, it's just, we have to take it game by game. And we just
as boring as that is, as cliche as that is, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's do the championship review. So it ended up Preston 1, Blackburn Rovers 2, Bristol City 3, Swansea 0, Charlton 1, Southampton 5.
By half time, by the way. That was the half time score.
Half time score, Jesus Christ. Coventry 3, West Brom 2, Birmingham 4, Norwich 1. By the way, everybody's saying like, we're talking about apathy, we're talking about the season. Look at Birmingham last season. If we get an ownership structure in, then I start getting giddy again because Birmingham did it. They went down, and look at them now.
But also,
Ipswich 0, Wrexham 0.
Look at what's going on at Norwich at the minute. Sacked the manager just before the break, bringing a new manager, not working, and a lot of it being talked about it to do with sporting directors and stuff. We always said we want a sporting director, but sometimes that can also lead to be what the situation with Norwich is.
Yeah, they've got to be the right ones.
Yeah.
That's crucial. Ipswich 0, Wrexham 0, Portsmouth 3, Millwall 1, QPR 3, Hull City 2, Derby 2, Watford 3, Oxford 1, Middlesbrough 1, Leicester City 2, and Stoke 1. And obviously we lost 3-0 in the Derby. That means Coventry is still on top of the table with 37 points. They're 7 points clear of second right now.
That table isn't up to date, I don't think, for today, for United.
Right, that's fair. So United will have climbed out of the relegation zone. No, they won't, actually. They'll still be in the relegation zone. Just.
I think they're on like
3 points would have put them on 13 points. Yeah, so they'll still be 22nd. Norwich on 9, and we are still on -4. God, that's why we're in this situation.
You remember the whole thing we had versus Norwich when we had the Norwich game and we were like, yes, we're on -2. We might. They went back down. Like, oh, okay, that's where we were.
Yeah, there we go. Let's talk about some positives then. So the news is starting with a positive this week. Wednesday signed Liam Cooper. This is from the Wednesday website. The Owls have signed experienced defender Liam Cooper on a contract until the end of the season, subject to international clearance. The centre-back moves to S6 with over 400 career appearances under his belt, including international experience with Scotland. Cooper began his career with his hometown club Hull and spent time on loan with Carlisle, Huddersfield and Chesterfield as a young player. He later made the permanent move to the Spireites, where he helped the club win the League Two title, earning promotion in League One in 2013-14. A big move to Leeds followed in the summer, and Cooper would spend a productive decade at Ellen Road. Prospective next Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, that's you. That's you not clearing the article. What?
Oh yeah, it'd been moved. That shouldn't have been there. Gone.
That's fine. That's fine. It's all right, mate. I should have read the article. That's on me as well. I've been moving, haven't I? The 34-year-old was made captain of the club and went on to lift the championship trophy as as Leeds earned a place in the Premier League in 2019-20. The defender spent 3 years in the top flight and was part of Scotland's 2020 and 2024 European Championship squads. In 2024, Cooper moved across the continent to Bulgaria with CSKA Sofia. After a short time as a free agent, he now signs a deal with the Owls until the summer of 2026. Cooper will wear the squad number 16 at Hillsborough. I think this is a fantastic signing,
Same.
Jake. What about you?
I think it's a good signing, good experience. Hopefully, we might be able to give him another contract at the end of it. I think in League One, he will be really good. Just a leader, vocal, be able to set everything. Fun fact, the championship trophy, I only know because my mate's a Leeds fan. He was telling me the other day, he went to Leeds to go get something. He looked up. The EFL trophy just sat on a cupboard in front of a room. Just hanging on the edge of a cupboard. But it's one of those things where I think this is a smart signing. And again, in his interview he did, he made it very, very clear that he wanted to come to us. He made it clear he wanted to come to us. He wanted to make sure we got everything right. He'd been in contact with Henrik during the process. And I think it's just smart. It's just one of those things where you wish we could have done it earlier. Like, generally wish we could have done it a lot earlier than what we have done. But
there was only one reason for it. I'm not mentioning his name anymore.
I call him Mr. Two Elephants. Two golden elephants, so yeah.
Do you know what's annoying about this, though? I can't do my FIFA thing.
He's not on there.
Because he doesn't have a card. However, he should be in the game data somewhere. And last he was in, he was a 72 rated in career mode. So if he comes back, hopefully he's a 70, whatever.
Yeah.
So you might have a centre back there, career mode players. But yeah, I think it brings experience that we needed. It brings a position in that we've crucially needed. We've needed that defensive position for so long, Jake. I've been saying it. Why aren't we sign one? Why aren't we sign one? Why aren't we sign one? Every bloody transfer deadline day. And here we go. We've signed one.
Yep.
And hopefully it is a long-term deal. Hopefully he has a good rest of the season and he is a big part of next season. Because it's not in the news because obviously it's just happened. We don't know what's going to happen with Iorfa.
No. His back looked bad. He seemed to have a bit
He looked like he had another...
Does seem to be back that
It's a recurring back injury for Iorfa, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I think we'll see what happens. Again, it's another injury. We've already got another midfielder out with Bruno Fernandes out as well, so it's just like add it to the list.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Right, this is from the Star.
This is where
this is what was overlapping in the article. There you go. Prospective next Sheffield Wednesday owner holds new stadium talks, future away from Hillsborough considered. One of the interested parties deep into the process of the potential takeover of Sheffield Wednesday has held meetings to discuss the plausibility of a future away from Hillsborough. The Star understands. As reported on Friday, the Owls have now been subject to a number of bids received by administrators as the process of selling the club continues to move forward towards fresh ownership and an official divorce from former chairman Des von Chansiri. Several bids are confirmed to have been fielded, with more expected. It is hoped that the administration process can continue to move towards the selection of a preferred bidder no later than December 5th. Some of the parties interested in acquiring the club are going about weighing up the validity of plans that will come with the acquisition of Wednesday. It is understood, with one party having already held meetings with local authorities over the possibility of building a new stadium away from Hillsborough. As reported by BBC Sheffield on Friday evening, the Star is of is of the understanding that meetings have taken place between Sheffield City Council and a new interested party with regard to the potential sites and planning permission for a new Sheffield Wednesday stadium. Should these ambitions be realised, Sheffield Wednesday Stadium for a new... Should these ambitions be realised, they could see the Owls move from Hillsborough Stadium for the first time since 1899. The party concerned is understood to, this is not in the article, but shock, be a US-based investor. But despite continued speculation online, it is not believed to be a bid from Walton Penner family that made its fortune through the American retailers Walmart and now owns NFL franchise Denver Broncos. The club's administrators have categorically denied to comment on the identities of the parties involved in the bidding process. Earlier this month, Wednesday Joint Administrator Chris Wigfield was able to confirm to the Star that the Walton Penn family was not one of the parties involved. Sources have provided no indication that this has changed. In a statement released on Friday clarifying the position of the sales process, Wigfield said, quote, "We are now entering the next phase where initial interest turns into formal bids. There has been much discussion in the press around deadlines. To be clear, the deadline was set to drive momentum, ensure fairness, and encourage bidders to move decisively, and many parties have respected that. We are grateful to those who have engaged at the process and met the deadline. Some parties have also made it clear they will make offers but require a couple more days to do so, and we are thankful of their communication lines. While the deadline is described as a soft one, it is not without purpose. We will prioritise parties who have acted promptly and professionally, but in line with our duties. If a substantial and credible bidder submits proof of funds after the deadline, we cannot ignore them. The key objective is to secure the best outcome for Sheffield Wednesday, and that requires both discipline and practicality. That said, we have received promising interest. 12 parties who demonstrated proof of funds have already been granted access to the data room. Several parties have come forward with sensible offers or assured us they will be doing so in the next few days. This is a very strong position for the club and a clear indication of Sheffield Wednesday's huge potential. We will review the offers at the start of next week and hope that by the 5th of December, we will be able to accept a deposit and grant exclusivity, allowing the EFL's formal checks to begin, end quote. Lot in that, Jake. Let's start with the end bit. So, process of takeover sounds like it's moving. There's momentum there. What are your thoughts?
It's where I thought it would be, to be fair. And the fact that the thing is, we've always had the whole thing that we know there's always been people interested in Wednesday. But now to have it from official people going, there are about 12 people who want us. It's good. It's now whittling down who actually wants us. So it's a case of going, right, this person's offered this, can you match it? What can you do? Are you going to go higher? Are you going to go lower? It is a bit of a bidding process in that sense, but at the same time, they will also look at people and go, you can't pass the EFL fit and proper person test, you're out. We'll have an issue here, you might be out. So the fact that it's at this point is good, and the fact that they're giving other people to have a look at us if they need to, it's good. Now, on the stadium bit, I'm torn. I'd love to redevelop Hillsborough, but I don't know how feasible it is to put more money into that. At the same time,
I don't want to do it. I might be in a dinosaur. I know the stink that's on Hillsborough. Sort of, yeah. I'd rather just rip Leppings Lane down. I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to move, but you look at you.
A lot of fans do though.
I think I'm in that kind of 50-50 because I don't want to go somewhere where it's a solar bowl. I like our ground traditional. If you do go back and look at those designs that were done for the World Cup, great. But I think by looking at those designs, I think some of you were taking out the back road that goes on to Hillsborough. That's gonna cost more to do than you first think. You could have paid out all those people. My whole thing has always been, you take about 1, 2, 3 houses out, 3 rows of houses out, and you band it that way. But the problem is, then are you going to lose that character of it being a community stadium with the houses being there? You don't want to lose that. We can't really go up like Liverpool have done in things. It's not viable in terms of wind and stuff like that. I just don't see it.
Could we not on Leppings? Because here's the thing. I think we probably should tear that stand down.
Yes.
And I think we should operate on 3 stands. As soon as these owners get in, tear Leppings down because it needs work anyway, but make it bigger.
Yeah.
Make it taller, give us more seating there, and rework Leppings into like a state-of-the-art stand where the away fans are either on the bottom and at the side or something, but start putting Wednesday fans in that end as well.
Yeah.
And make it a bigger stand because there's a bit of space. Not loads, but there's a bit of space you can work with around Leppings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you could just look at the development of all the other stands.
But I've also got the other thing is, you look at our club shop, it is literally a building stuck on the side of the stadium. My idea would be to integrate that into like round the stadium, like have it where it's underneath the stands or something of that nature, where you go in that
or
way.
I put it across the road. Again, I'd put it across the road. Here's the thing, is what I'm thinking. I was saying this on stream. You know, like there's all the self-storage crap and stuff down there, right? Across. You know where I mean, Wednesday fans? You're going down road.
Henderson Road, going towards Sainsbury's.
Yeah. There's like loads of storage. Like I always drive past it and I'm like, all right, there's space there.
You mean the big base opposite COP? You mean the base that they're building the Audi on?
Down that way. Right. It's not space. There's warehouse. There's like storage units and stuff or whatever there. Buy them. Move them. Knock that down and put a huge multi-story car park there.
Yeah.
That's your parking solved. Right?
Yep.
Then just work on moving the shop. Get a premises close enough to the ground, cross the road, wherever, move the shop. Then you can use that space for a little bit more expansion of whatever you want to do, facilities, ground, whatever, and start moving things. Build onto that stadium. You don't need to just start again with a soulless bowl.
My biggest thing will be the flooding issue. If it gets bad, we would have to find a way of fixing that. Because when it gets bad, and yes, at 2007...
Can we not turn the Don the other way? Get it flowing the other way.
Yes, 2007 was a bad time when it flooded, and it's not done it since.
Yeah.
But any time that bloody river gets higher, we all panic and go, how's the pitch? How's this? I don't know what you can do engineering. I don't know if they can hire it or whatever. But for me, I'd like to stay. But how it's like if you're going to get a house, how much money are you willing to put in to renovate it before you go, that's enough? I can't take it any further. And
It's just a financial hit, man.
It's a big,
renovation's going to cost enough money.
It's a big financial hit, but we are talking about people who've got deep pockets, apparently.
Yes, but then we're talking about financial fair play.
Will it? I don't think stadiums and stuff come into it.
But how? Are you sure? Because you could sell your stadium.
I don't think stadiums come into in terms of if you're doing like repairs and maintenance and making it big. I don't think it hits it. I could be wrong.
And building a new stadium.
But I could be wrong.
It probably doesn't.
But I don't
know because it might have been a thing they changed because you can't really flog your stadium anymore to help with it. So maybe that's also the case of it doesn't affect it if you buy a stadium. Maybe.
But if anything,
it's
as daft as this can sound, I don't want to be talking about the stadium too much. I want to find a place for the training ground.
Yeah.
But I think ideally,
I just think there's a lot still to be done with Hillsborough.
I think a new ground, you would get a Man City style thing they would want to do where it's all enclosed. The training ground and stuff.
But why couldn't you just get Hillsborough back to its capacity? If you rebuild Leppings Lane and you'd sort the corners out and everything and do the repairs that are necessary in the North Stand, but maybe upgrade the North Stand, you could actually have this as a stadium that can get back to its original capacity. Push it to a 42,000.
Yeah.
Is a 42,000 stadium going to outgrow Wednesday in the next 50? Yeah, probably. If we're in Europe, yeah.
If we get Europe, if we got Prem. I think you're in the same boat as say Everton were, where you love your traditional old stadium. You love that it's your home. It's what you've done. But
we're not because Everton are a Premier League side.
No, but we're not. But what I'm saying is there is that kind of attitude of this is where do you move to? And the problem is our stadium's got so many bad things with it which don't help. Granted, not our fault, but I understand if people had turned around and said they want a clean fresh break from DC and the ownership say they want a clean break, they might go, why don't we have a clean break complete? I don't want to see them move, But I can see why they will want to, because you can't expand it. You can't put gigs on. You can't do other. You can't have it to make other generate revenue. Other stadiums are able to put concerts on. Do they? That's another source of income we could bring in. I get it.
Yeah, maybe. Look, maybe. It's more of a case of I want to know what they're going to do there. If they do take it down,
someone said,
I hope that.
Right. On mine, when I said it, they said, this is poor, we're not being consulted as fans. I don't think that'll be the case.
No, God, no. They'll just be seeing if it's possible because that's what they'll want to bring in.
Yeah.
But they'll know there'll be an uproar.
It's like if you buy a house.
They will still probably do it, but they'll consult us and convince us. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. But it's like if you buy a house, you want to find out if you can get planning.
If they're the ones that buy it, we're moving stadium, but it's going to make it seem like it was our idea. That's what's going to happen.
But it's going to be a long time
in
the process. They will have to put money to make Wednesday safe and to the point where they can do it. But it's like if you buy a house now and you want to put an extension, you'll find out if you can get planning permission first, wouldn't you? You wouldn't buy the house, then put it in. I think that's what they're inquiring. If they did do it, where can we go? What is suitable? Ideally, you want to keep it around it. I'm just saying, the dog track, you could put the dog track where the Hillsborough is and the Hillsborough where the dog track is. Just saying.
I'd like to see it a case of you actually did the thing that what stadium's done this, where they've put houses around, but the pitch is being kept as like a park.
Oh, you mean Highbury and West Ham's?
Yeah. Like so. They've used it, but they've kept the heritage and they've kept like.
Dexy's moving back to Sheffield. You're gonna buy a house. Are? If that happened, Dexy's moving back to Sheffield.
Yeah. Because don't get me wrong. Nowadays, like, I think for like the future, I am kind of selfish in that as well. Because like I don't ever have to worry about parking in the stadium. I've got my nans and stuff there, but I'm going to take myself out of that and say I have to drive and park and find parking like everyone else when I go to Hillsborough.
Yeah, not great, is it?
Then yeah, all right. It's not going to be great. So maybe we do. Maybe it is a case of like, but that's why I put the multi-story there. Yeah. I would build a huge eyesore of a car park and have it there for match day parking and the club own it.
Big, massive glowing Wednesday badge on it 24/7 going, it's ours.
Yeah, exactly. And then that sorts part of your match day parking out. I don't know why more places don't do that, because like I know some teams do, but you could own it. You could bet then the club could then just like run the car park and you book it with the club and you parked.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, and it's an extra revenue source.
Yep. Yeah.
You know? Because would you pay 10 to 15 quid to park every match? If you could park in the Story car park, that's expensive, but I would.
Would you pay extra on your season ticket if you got a season ticket with parking? And you get a number.
And then you've got different tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
Exactly. Yeah, but anyway, that's the stadium side of it. I'm not really convinced it'd take convincing, and I'm sure that's what they'd be here to do. But the other side of that is the prospective owners, Jake.
Yep.
People have proven funds and are now at the point where they can look at the data of Wednesday and see how serious and viable it is for them.
And see where all the skeletons are.
Yeah.
I'm
excited.
I think the thing is, you take away today's result and you look at what the future could potentially hold. Whoever coming in is going to have money to try and do it. And from what we've heard from Chris Wigfield, they're not messing about. These are business people. They get it. Yeah. And some of them are business people in sport industry. So they get it. They understand it. You're not... I think the idea when they first said 50 million, everyone was like, oh, the club's not worth 50 million. No, that was 50 million to get your foot in the door. And I thought that was a really clever way to do it because it got rid of all your tire kickers straight away.
Well, say if they even buy it for 30, which I think is still probably quite high, given the situation. 30 is possibly what it's going to go for. They want that extra buffer. They want a 20 odd million buffer or 30 million buffer or whatever it's going to be. So you can actually maintain, because it's about being able to sustain the club for 5 years or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing now with the EFL. That's why you need to prove those funds.
Yeah, I think it's whoever gets us, I think they know that it's if you lean into it how it should have been in the first place, it runs itself.
Yeah.
But the thing is
Yeah,
that
it is, and
gotta
the
be
fans
right.
have shown it.
Yeah. You just got to look at what we've done over the last couple of months. The administrator went, Bend, okay, here's £500,000 in sales. What more do you want? And you take things down to good value. So you take things, I think a shirt at about 55 quid is probably about right. Maybe 40.
Yeah.
But I think 55
Yeah.
is probably your standard, and say 45 kids, and then say 35 for like.
I think
infants.
I got one for, was it 71 or 81 the other week? And obviously I'm just like, let's just funnel it into the club. But it needs doing.
I think if you get that right, but they're serious people, aren't they? Bad sounds of it.
Yeah, it just has to be the right people that come in, and I think that's what this administration team is going to make sure. It helps that he's a Wednesday fan. It really does.
It does help.
That's not to be overlooked. It's not. There's that side of it. He wants Wednesday to be in good hands.
When you look at the clubs that they've dealt with in the past, they've all gone on to be okay.
Say that for our viewers. Tell us the clubs.
Wigan. I think it's Wigan, Derby. I want to say there's another one, and I can't remember what it was. But Wigan was the big one that they said on that.
Was it Bolton?
Bolton. That's it. Bolton. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, this next one is from the Star. Sheffield Wednesday remain on the hunt for free signing options beyond the pair already being considered. Manager Henrik Pedersen has confirmed to the Star. They talk a bit about Liam Cooper signing here, but the ones that remain to be seen are Duncan Watmore, and Nathan Redmond, former Premier League figures who were released by Millwall and Burnley respectively over the summer, were revealed by the Star to be training at Middlewood Road with the views to becoming the Owls' next signings. Pedersen has confirmed this to be the case, but has stressed there is no panicked hurry to get a body in, rather that time will be taken to ensure the player has got the personality, and the second signing is correct that the final slot goes to the right person. On the trialling duo, the Dane said, we are, quote, we are open. We have Watmore and Redmond, two good guys, but also two good players. They have shown a good level. We know how they have not played for a long time, but they have a chance to get to the next level. Let's see what happens with them. Though Watmore and Redmond are already in the door seeking to impress, the search for viable options goes on. A focus has been placed on strengthening the centre of the pitch, but it may be that existing players are moved around their roles in order to help guard against the impending departure of Jan Valery and Sean Fishere to the AFCON next month. Quote, we are searching on the market, but it's the end of November, and to find a lot of options right now to go and help a team in the Championship is not the easiest job in the world. We are searching for a player who on the football side can bring something, but we also have to be sure there is a good human being we're bringing in, because we have such a fantastic culture in the squad. We need an experienced player, but we also need an inexperienced player who is ready to give and not only think of themselves. We need experienced players who is ready to learn new things. It doesn't matter which background they're coming from. They can bring a lot. The team is the best player and the relationship is most important. I can only say that Nate and Duncan have been fantastic in this way also, end quote. So, two names that you recognise there, Jay.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
If I had to toss up between the two, I'd rather Duncan than Nathan. Duncan can play multiple positions. He can play across the wing. He can play across the midfield. He can play up top, which is what you want. You want a striker. He can play up top. He's a battler. Let's talk you through the profile of these then. So Duncan Watmore, Jake's preference, 31. Nathan Redmond's also 31. Started his career at Altrincham, went on loan a lot, had a big career at Sunderland, 7 years there, 71 appearances, 5 goals. So not that many appearances in 7 years, to be fair. Was on Hibs on loan during that. Middlesbrough for 3 years, 92 appearances is where, he made the majority there. And then Millwall, he played 76 times between 2023 and 2025, scoring 11 goals. Yeah. So last season, he played 26 times, scoring 5 goals and 1 assist. So wouldn't be bad whatsoever, Duncan Watmore there. 31, as you said, can play multiple positions. Let's do it. It's happening. Do the thief card. He's having a look.
I've not been able to do it for so long, man.
I'm so.
Has he even got a card?
I'm so
You won't have a
screenshotting
card,
that face
does he?
you just did as well. You need to make it a moment.
So last year he was a 68 rated striker with 81 pace and rapid play style. So if he gets a card, even if he's 66, he should be decent. Let's move on to Redmond. So Redmond, again, is 31. You see, you think of these players as old. He's a year older than me.
They both feel old
He's
because they
younger than
both
you.
came around as hot property when they were coming through the rank.
Yeah. So he started at Birmingham, was at Norwich for 3 years, a very good Norwich side, 2013 to 16, 112 appearances, 11 goals. Southampton, 195 appearances between 2016 and 22, scoring 21 goals. Then went to I can never say it, Besiktas. 5 goals in 25 appearances. And then Burnley, only 14 appearances between 2023 and 25, scoring 14 goals. So Redmond, for me, is the one that you listen to and you go, oh, I want him because I remember him from Southampton, right? But then you look at his recent years, no thank you, 2 appearances last year.
Yeah.
He could be a great signing, but I feel like Watmore, as you have said, is more of the one that's got more recent success, so to speak. Well, it's got the better profile more recently. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Whereas Redmond could be one that's just like a last payday for Redmond.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as a slight on him. He did have a great FIFA card. I'd love it. 71 rated rare with it'd be fantastic. And I'm sure FIFA would love him as well. We'd get some special cards with him because he's had a load of special cards in the past.
What you're looking at is, if you want to remember, it's like us bringing in when we brought in Mendes Lang. Whoever comes in is going to be Mendes Lang.
That's actually a really good analogy. And Duncan Watmore, for me, is the position we need and would actually be a fantastic signing. He's the one I hope we sign.
Yeah, same.
The fact that last season he still played 26 times, scoring 5 goals, is all you need to say for me.
Yeah, he still knows where the net is.
Compare that with 2 appearances for Redmond.
Yeah,
it's night and day.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There is a potential that we get an extra slot and he signs both of them, because if Iorf is actually a proper injury, they might allow us another one.
Yeah, but we've got to see. And the thing, if we still don't, again, if what I said earlier, we haven't got the clarity of what we can do and what we can't do in January and stuff. So it could be a case, like you said in your stream, we might be able to get some frees in, but it all depends.
It does. It does. That's a lot of that's to do with injuries as well. We Fernandez is out for 8 weeks.
Yep.
Let's talk about injuries a bit. So Charles should be back soon.
Yep.
We had a write-in from Andy. So Caboodlefish writes in and says, would you get a new number 1 because we need a better keeper? And if so, what happens to Charles? 18 months on his contract. So I don't know if that's a question of do we get a better keeper in for the now for Charles, or because Horvath is terrible, that. I think Charles will be back, so I don't think this will be a problem. No. But let's look hypothetically at bringing a keeper in. There is experienced keepers on the market. Would you, for example, loan someone like Lumley in to have an option when Horvath goes back from his emergency loan? Maybe. I would actually potentially say start Charles and bring Lumley back. Yeah,
the thing is, I think with Charles, you've got to play him. You've got to play him because he's...
No, Charles has to be for number 1.
Yeah, right. The thing is, it's what you can do and how you can do it. I would take Lumley as a number 2. And then you'd have Stretch.
That's my thoughts.
You have Stretch back in the 18s or 21s, because we know Killian Ballard gone on loan to Boston, I want to say. So he's gone to get more experience. It is a position, I will say, that we have been very blessed with good academy prospects. And there's another one in the under 18s who's also very good. So if we can keep them coming through the door, great. The thing is, it's how quickly does a takeover happen? If the takeover isn't going to go as fast as they first thought it was going to do, January comes in and someone comes in for Charles, you're like, Because they did say they have got money till the end of Jan.
They may have to asset strip a little bit. Yeah, they've tried not to so far, but they may have to if the takeover doesn't happen.
You might have to do that. We're going to be losing Horvath at the end in January anyway. Going back, it was only till same with Harry and Math, but hopefully sounding like Harry and Math, we might get something sorted. I think you look at trying to bring someone in as quickly as possible and as that backup keeper, because Charles is number one, but if something's not sorted or if a deal's not done, because remember they did say if a deal's not quite done yet, they can get the other ownership, the new ownership, to put like a deposit down to help pay that January staff wages and stuff. So they know that it's all going through. It's at the like left end bit, but we're going to give you, if you give us this to clear this, we won't have to do that. I think anyone coming in has got to look at Charles as the future of the club and how to push it forward and be very careful. If you do sell him, you sell him for good value, but then there's a 20% sell-on fee on top of that. And then maybe you can say, right, well, 20% there, but if you go to the net club, you could have another sell-on fee, because what's happening nowadays, clubs are putting 2 or 3 sell-on fees. So they get one, they get another.
Are they?
Yeah, there's a club that's done it recently where they've done one sell-on fee and they've managed to say, and we'll get a future one. It was a really niche article. I'll find it for you. But the thing is, you want a good sell-on fee because he's potentially going to be up there as high in terms of value if he keeps on going on the career he's going on.
And I think we just need to protect him. So that's where my head would be with Charles. Get him back, make sure he's not rushed in. I'd like to see Lumley. Lumley would seem like a good character, bring him back in as a loan for the end of the season, because at least he's going to be a number 2, not a number 3 that way. You know, come in, he'll play and probably a bit, so have him around. And then if he does well, I think his contract's expiring. Maybe I'd bring him around and see what happens. League One, he might be good for us. You never know. If we have an offer coming, because I still think even if we get new owners, if somebody comes in for Charles for like millions, that there's going to be temptation with sell-ons, But let's look ahead to the week then. Jake, you can have this one on stream, mate, because I'm not working, but I'll be knackered. So Millwall, Sheffield Wednesday on Wednesday night. What are you feeling ahead of this one?
I'll be honest with you, I'm going into every game going potential draw, potential loss. All I will say,
we're going to lose.
Play Cads and McNeil up top together. I think it works well.
Do you want to know what the odds are? It's a 58% Millwall chance of winning, a 25% chance of a draw, and we've got a 17% on the odds of winning.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. Fair enough, yeah. We're losing.
Yeah. I'll take a point now.
Yeah.
Been saying that in most games. Would be nice to just... But then again, you never know. We bounce back. Cadamartri has a game.
And we got Preston.
Maybe Duncan Watmore signs tomorrow or something.
And we got Preston on the Saturday.
Yes, we do. So Preston coming up, and Preston are 5th.
Which is really interesting, because Preston fans have been saying, do we want Michael Smith back? Yeah, please.
Oh, I'd take him.
Yep, same.
Next season, League One Michael Smith, run it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do that. If he's free.
Yeah.
I think he signed a bit of a deal there, didn't he?
He signed a bit of a deal, yeah.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves a big deal, that man.
He does.
But yeah, Jake, it's been fun to be back, even on the back of a Steel City derby loss. We've got stuff to talk about, and hopefully we will do the podcast next weekend, and hopefully we'll have more to talk about on the takeover front, which is where we can start to get excited, mate.
Yeah. I think the thing is, yes, it's not great on the pitch at the minute, but we weren't expecting it to be this season. I think it's about building for the future, knowing that we're going to be in League One, build a bottom half championship League One style players for next season, see what we're allowed, and see what new ownership brings.
Yeah, and as always, guys, get your topics in the comment section that you want us to talk about on the next show. Get in the Discord, at us talking when on Twitter, all those things if you want to get involved in the show. But thank you so much for being with us this week. We will be back next week with 244 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. But until then, guys, take care, and we will see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
See ya.